Hello and welcome back to another breakdown video. Today's episode is on Oh 4 Baby, which happens to be one of my favorite songs in the album. I mean, to be fair, I like all of my music, right? Well, not all of my music ever, but I like most of the songs in this album. But I just think this one has a lot of fun that's in it. It's just a really fun song to listen to. I'm going to be breaking down the music behind it because there's some really interesting things going on. And then I'm also going to break down a little bit of the lyrics. So I hope that's fun, and let's get into it. So, Oh 4 Baby is actually one of the last songs I wrote for this album. I think the very last one was Moon and Sun, but this was the real penultimate with lyrics. And it usually happens like that, where the last song I write for the album is often either my favorite or one of the favorites. And that's the same thing that happened here. I don't know why that happens. I think maybe it's because usually the songs that I write at the end of the process are kind of just, hey, I'm having fun, let's just do something crazy. And then I ended up coming up with something really fun. The kind of background for Oh 4 Baby was that I had just, done, I've been listening to the album demo tracks, and I was thinking about how I really liked the rapping that I did in and Feeling Myself. So I don't have the biggest background in rapping, but I do actually have a background in rap. So one of the biggest influential styles in my music career has been rap in various subgenres of rap. So I grew up listening to a lot of like Eazy-E and Ice Cube, Notorious B.I.G. Like there's a lot of like those kind of rappers. But then when I was developing my own kind of flavor of music, what I liked listening to really, there was two bands that kind of really stick out to me. That's Tribe Called Quest, and that's Digable Planets, and those two were such influential, music icons to me. I love the Brooklyn style of rap that Tribe had. And I loved the jazz influences from Digable Planets, and both of them are incredible bands. If you haven't listened to their work, you're crazy. You have to go do that. I think that most people will recognize Quest, but I'm not sure a lot of people will recognize Digable Planets. They came out at really similar times. I actually think Digable Planets is a little bit earlier, I think. And you really see a lot of influences between the two. But that kind of rap style and stuff like Tyler, the Creator, I love his work. I like Mac Mill. There's a lot of, newer ones as well that was really... kind of spiraling around in my head, having a lot of this rap influence. And, some of my earlier work has attempts at rap. I mentioned in the previous video the song Microtones from the album Microtones, which is, a really old project I did. And in that, both songs have rap in it. I mean, you've got Jesus, the Jesus song.
They need to make more rap songs about Jesus.
They really do.
Jesus Christ is my bro. Yeah. Yay. He my bro. Hey.
Which I guess you could technically call rap. But and then there's other earlier works that I did that have that. And then for the musical, I really wanted to incorporate rap into it. So there's some kind of spoken word elements and then just true rap. And musical theater rap, which is an emerging style, I think. You obviously have Hamilton and Into the Heights, and there's I would say that some of the work that Sondheim did, like with the right tone and backing sounds, it could be considered rap. Like there's elements of that. So it's always been in my repertoire of music styles, but I hadn't really done a song where I felt was just rap, and kind of enjoying it and kind of feeling that out. And so I thought, let's do that. Let's do an homage to 2000 style rap. Even though I don't listen to as much 2000s rap as I do 90s rap, 70s rap, 80s rap. I still like some the 2000s rap. And the concept is kind of 2000s rap is heavily influenced by 90s rap because, it's the natural progression, right? It's going into the next one. And so there's a lot of callbacks to older artists in 2000 rap, which is something that I kind of do in this song, as well as playing off the kind of 2000s rap genre. Really that it's very like synth based. There's a lot of pop influence. Let's break it down. The first thing that I kind of will talk about in this is how little orchestration I did myself. This is a very sample heavy song, which is intentional because the rap genre is known for being a sample led industry and style of mixing and mastering old sounds. There's the billion breakdown videos of Kanye using old songs and of B.I.G. using old songs, and obviously Digable Planets and Tribe Called Quest, they both did that. Most rap is sample stuff. I think there's very few rap artists who are doing original music in terms of actually orchestrating from the ground up, from the base level. I think Tyler is a good example of an artist like that. And that's one of the reasons I really like his work. But I really wanted to use, samples. And it's a callback to the style, but it's also a callback to, I used to do these kind of lo-fi songs. You can check out on SoundCloud. I have quite a few lo-fi style songs. And I really loved incorporating that element of using sample work and doing sample work, which is, just something I always did. So let's look at some of the sample stuff I did. I've mentioned in Feeling My Stuff the usage of taking two different drum tracks and splicing them into each other to create more layered and unique sounds. And that is something I definitely do in this album. Or this album, yes, but this song specifically. So brace your ears. Let's listen to some drums. So the first one we got is the Dark Hall break, which just sounds like this. It's a classic kind of like rap backbeat, but the second one we have is super 2000s, super 90s style. I love it so much. Which is this crowded break. And you'll hear some people in the background, and let's just listen to that. It's so classic. And so these are both really beautiful and really nuanced in themselves, but combining them, we get this kind of and you get such a full sound and such a broad sound with the combo. I really, really recommend trying out this technique of combining two different drum tracks or multiple drum tracks. I think the most I've ever done was 4 in one. This has 3 drum tracks going at one point, I think, which is in the kind of bridge. We'll get there in a second. So starts out with the drum beat, just classic drum beat, and then I come in with this telephone sound. It's kind of very iconic telephone sound. I think I actually used the telephone sound from iMovie for this one because royalty free. But let's check that out real quick. Really classic. I just pan it left and right. There's nothing going in there. It's just a sound, which I also think is such an iconic thing. And from a standpoint of production, it just sounds cool, right? But from a storytelling standpoint, it's supposed to kind of be like call back, you know? You get it? Call back. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea why. And I also use this telephone vocal, which nobody really can listen. Nobody notices when they listen to this song. But I do make kind of like some yeah, because it's kind of trying to mimic the drum track. But you can kind of listen to this one. I'll just isolate it real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
So weird. Really weird track, but nobody notices, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, you can hear it probably now. It's pretty simple. Just kind of like, I added that just for fun, a little Easter egg for those who are listening. It doesn't, it's kind of just look. It's a classic trope of having be like, when you're about to start rapping and or freestyling specific, you're like, all right, wait a second, like trying to process it and keep a little bit of a filler. We get into the chorus. Again, this is one of those songs where the chorus isn't a lyrical chorus, it's an instrumental chorus, but it's a repeating motif, and therefore it is a chorus, and feels like the chorus, right? And interestingly enough, we started initially with just these Detroit guitars. Again, going back to the sample, we're using samples. So I use this one. This is just a preset that you can get with Logic. I think maybe you can get that with GarageBand. I'm not sure. Very grungy, right? I just pan them left and right, boom and boom, and add a little space delay to one of them, and together. And there's a reason why I didn't leave it just like that. And that is because that is like the exact chord progression of the song that's like, I'm gonna do this right now. And you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is not plagiarism, for multiple reasons. But I'll explain it after you hear it, and you'd be like, oh. Right? You just instantly were like, oh, what? Oh no, it's stolen. First of all, didn't play this guitar. This is a sample, so sue them. But you cannot copyright or put claim on a chord progression unless the chord progression is has a melody over it. The only way to do that, like to copyright music, is to have the same melody, is to like reuse the same melody and chords in tandem. That's illegal. To use the chord progression is not. And it wasn't intentional. I only noticed it like after writing the song, and I played it for one of my friends, and they're like, we both were like, it kind of sounds similar. Like, what does it sound like? Which has happened so many times. There's been songs that I've had to scrap because they were too similar to songs I'd heard before. And I was like, oh, that's what it sounds like. But we were like waiting, we were like trying to think, and we both looked at each other and go, woohoo. Like, yeah. So, a great way of, if you have something that sounds similar but isn't the same, then change it, right? Change it from a melody standpoint. So that's why we bring in this rocky synth lead, right? I have two actually. So there's the an iconic lead. I actually want to remember how to play that. By the way, it's the third induction of the motif of the album. The first time we hear it is in that da, 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 is used in, the most obvious one is There's No Other Place. And then there's another place where it is used. I don't remember if it's Blood Rose or it's something. I don't remember which one, but you guys can probably remember that. I use that da, 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 those three notes, which is just a D, D sharp, D, D flat, or C sharp, D. It's just a really classic one. And then we come in with the second lead, which is the same melody, just a different sound. It just sounds so 2000s to me. I don't know why. And then we add them together to make... And that's about it. We add the bass, but the bass is really simple. So that's the classic one. There's a little Easter egg. Now you know. Next, we come in with the actual rapping, and we get into it. So I love doing this. I talked about this in another one of the songs, but it's the classic. You have the big rise up and then break down to the basics, the fundamentals. Yeah, I do that in Blood Rose. I really enjoy doing that. And for this, we change the guitar. So actually, we go from this, from the woohoo guitar solo. We go to that, to this new kind of Caribbean style one, kind of reggae-ish. And then to kind of accentuate and to add to that style, we add this conga. We keep the drums from the original part going at the same time. We just incorporate the congo, and we switch the guitar, and we bring in the vocals. Let's look at the vocals. I'll break down some of the lyrics. To be honest, I don't even know what they all mean, but I can make it up as we go. All right.
Baby, Grace the Rule, playing Kendrick lately. If I got two of my tastes, old school with a new crew. The planet, the tribe, just like voodoo. I'm a sentimental freak, yeah. Never stick to one beat, I'ma change up the tone, need it done till it don't cut it on as you done. Who am I when the lights turn off?
Anyways, I love these vocals. Let's isolate them real quick. We're gonna hear them all raw and gross. Let's do it.
I'm an awful baby, Grace the Rule, playing Kendrick lately. If I got two of my tastes, old school with a new crew. The planet, the tribe, just like voodoo.
So when I do a vocal harmony, typically you'll notice in this album, I will do a 3 split. So you have center main vocals. Left is split into into a lower harmony, right into a higher harmony. That's my typical tried and true method. And that is just to bolster the vocals, to make them stand out more. There isn't really like a specific harmony I do, it's just in the moment. But for these ones where you have like 5 harmonies going on, 6 harmonies going on, if you have these large harmonies, this is just utilizing good harmonization, internal harmonization. So like some people can harmonize and others can't, right? That's like a concept. It's just whether or not you've practiced it or not. But like generally speaking, being able to play by ear is 100% a learnable trait. And it's so sad that so many musicians don't learn that way. If you're classically trained, you don't get taught to play by ear. You're taught to play by, reading, by sight reading. Which is amazing. I wish I could do that. I don't know how to read music, which is awful for me because I'm going to be going and writing musicals, and that is a difficult situation to be in, right? But my music is entirely internal. My head does it all. It is doing the harmonies. It is creating these elaborate scores all internally, and it's all about taking that and putting it onto sheet. If I'm writing it, or usually putting it onto the digital interface on Logic. And so for these harmonies that I do, they just like I will. It's not like I'm naturally perfect at it. Like I'm not gonna do the perfect harmony, but generally speaking, I'll have a good harmony line. I will follow general structures, like let's get a piano real quick. So for instance, I will typically follow a 7 chord. I'm a jazzy man. I love some 7 chords. I think I explained before what a 7 chord is. If I haven't, it's really simple. The way that I learned how to play music was that I realized that all music is patterns. Playing by ears is about predicting and knowing, oh, I feel like naturally this goes this way, and therefore it will. So like, for instance, the first chord you're ever really taught, right, is going to be a C major. C major triad. This is the 5th chord. So it's 1, skip 1, 1, skip 1, 1. That's a C chord, right? That's the most simple chord ever. And you can play... Every pop song ever uses those. Songs other places use those. I mean, those are the most simple chords. But with that idea of you play one, then you skip one, you play one, then you skip one, you play one. Well, naturally, if you're thinking from a pattern standpoint, then why not do another skip one, play one? And then you have that sound, which is lovely. Right? It's got a different taste and a different tone. And that is a 7th chord. The reason we call it a 7th chord is because it is 7 whole tones. So this is the 1st, this is the 3rd, this is the 5th, this is the 7th. And then by that same logic, do another skip one, add. And now we've got a 9 chord. The reason I said that was because often I will use a 7th chord basis for my harmony. So I would be singing. So say if it's C, say I'm singing just a C, right? The harmony would be add those all together. The structuring of a harmony is literally just doing chords with your voice. That's it. It's that simple. There's nothing else to it. It is just doing a chord with multiple voices, or in this case, with my voice tracking, different tracks on top of each other. That's it. It's so simple. I've never done this before. Let's take the notes and literally just find out, note for note, what chord that first one is. This is the lead vocals.
I'm an all for
I'm a O for baby. Ironically, we're on C. I'm an O for baby. Right? Listen.
I'm an all for baby, grace to brew.
I'm an O for baby, grace to brew. So that's C. Let's go to the next one.
I'm an all for baby.
I'm an O for. So that's a fifth. Let's go to the next one.
I'm an all for baby.
I'm an O. Which is like a pentatonic scale, right? Let's do the next one.
I'm an all for.
I think these are just the same. Let's check.
I'm an all for baby, grace to brew. Playing Kendrick late.
I'm an O for baby, grace to brew. And I think that's the most recognizable sound. I think that one sticks out a lot. But anyways, let's do the last one.
I'm an all for baby, grace to brew. Playing.
Yeah, that's why, because it's three of the same ones.
I'm an all for baby, grace to brew. Playing Kendrick lately. And fight out to my taste is old school with a new crew. The planet, the tribe, just like voodoo.
It's actually not the crazy harmony. It's basically just a fifth harmony.
So I
I
need
need to
it.
explain the lyrics. So I'm an O4 baby, grass to root. Pretty simple. I was born in 2004, so I'm an O4 baby. I'm an O4 baby, grass to root. And I'm ingrained in that culture of like early 2000s kids, from grass to root. That's a pretty simple sentence, right?
I'm an all for baby, grace to brew. Playing Kendrick.
Playing Kendrick in Five Dog 2, Kendrick Lamar, one of the greatest rappers of all time. Like, Kendrick is occasionally better. Five Dog is consistently, in the long run, better. Dramatic sentence right there. Would get a lot of hate from some people, but doesn't matter.
Grace to brew. Playing Kendrick lately. If I got two of my tastes, old school with a new crew.
Five Dog, I would consider kind of old school because he's like 80s, 90s rap. But anyways, the planet, the tribe, the planet, the Diggable Planets. I've mentioned them in the beginning of the video. Tropical Quest, I've mentioned a lot today. So yeah.
Like voodoo. The planet, the tribe, just like voodoo.
This line, just like voodoo, doesn't make a lot of sense because it's a reference to a Tribe Called Quest and Diggable Planets. They both use the concept of voodoo within their music. Not voodoo magic necessarily, but that they describe music as this dark magic of voodoo. There's some great lyrical analysis of their work because they are incredible lyricists, both groups. There's a lot of meaning behind the usage of voodoo. Obviously, voodoo is a type of dark magic that's used primarily by people from Africa. It's got African roots. There's voodoo and also in the Caribbean as well. So there's it's like the reason it's called black magic is not because it's formed by black people, but there is a black influence to voodoo. And it's this soul binding magic, right? So voodoo is trying to, like a lot of voodoo is taking an item and soul bonding it, tethering it to a real soul, so that you can, like the voodoo doll, you can stab the voodoo doll and it actually hurts the person or whatever. Don't mess around with voodoo, but that concept of that imagery and that metaphor of music being like voodoo, where it's this tie to yourself that you're feeding energy from music, is a concept that they both use, which I think is a very beautiful image, albeit dark.
Just like voodoo. I'm a sentimental freak, yeah. Never stick to one beat, huh?
I'm a sentimental freak is just because I love the old styles of music. I love the old styles of aesthetics. I don't want to be one of those people who's like, I'm a vintage girly, but like, yeah, I love the sound of vinyl. There's just something you can appreciate about the old nostalgic essences of older music and older styles of music, which this is obviously, as I've mentioned before, an homage to that era of 2000s rap and 90s rap. So yeah, I'm a sentimental freak. I'm sentimental about that style. and then what's this? I'm a sentimental freak. Yeah. Never stick to one beat. This has been miscued and mistranslated, misunderstood as a line. Never stick to one beat could mean a lot of things, and it does have certain connotations that are true and that I won't explain. But really, if we're thinking about the context of these lyrics, it's referring to the fact that although I'm a sentimental person and I love the style, I can never stick to just that. Like, I have to have multiple songs and multiple genres going on, you know. This album is entirely a love letter to the idea of genres. Literally, just generally speaking genres. Anyways, the idea that there's so many types of music, types of sounds of music, right? You have all of these incredible genres and styles out there, and I love them all. And I come from a background where I really always, you know, write different styles. This album is all about me loving the fact that we can do multiple styles. I say, you know, like, oh, you probably have whiplash listening to this song because there's 7 genres going on, and most of them don't have connections between each other. They're very different. They're all me. But I always felt held back, like, oh, I need to make this album with this style because I like this song, and so it has to continue. But this album is all about just screw that. Like, have what you want. Like, do music that you want to do. You don't need the same genre for every song. I think that this album is really fun in that way. It's chaotic in that way, but so am I. So yeah, never can stick to one beat is referring to that.
Never stick to one beat. I'ma change up the tone, it ain't done till it don't cut it on as you done. Who am I when the lights turn off?
And this line is going different. It's a different concept. Who am I when the lights turn off? It's kind of asking a question of my future self. You know, obviously a dream of mine is to be a successful actor, successful writer, successful director, with an audience to give my work to, right? That's everyone's dream. If they're a performer, they don't want to play for nobody. They don't want to be completely unheard of, right? I don't necessarily want to be the most famous person in the world, but I want an audience. And the question is, when I have that audience, who will I be when the lights turn off? Who will I be when I'm not in the spotlight? And, you know, will I have those stylistic, you know, changes that I always love? And that's the kind of question.
Who am I when the lights turn off? Pay the price, but who have I become?
That line, again, we're talking about a hypothetical future. I assume that there will be decisions I have to make, stylistic, you know, rules that I'll have to abide by. I don't think I'll be able to realistically be commercially successful, you know, kind of sellable as somebody who writes music in every style. I think that's a great tool, the fact that I can do most genres, but I don't think it's necessarily how I will become successful. I think at some point I will have to tone that down, and I'll have to learn to be able to stay in a groove. So pay the price, but who have I become? You know, will I do that? What will the future be for that?
I become, I feel the vibe when the lights turn off. Satisfied.
I'm happy without the spotlight. When I don't have that, when I'm not being scrutinized or criticized, not in a bad way, but like when I don't have eyes on me, you know, thinking about, critiquing my work, I'm happy. I love doing albums like this. I think it's not for everyone, but I love it. Doing this kind of stuff where I just do a billion genres and it's just totally chaotic and it's totally me, is something really liberating and super fun. And there's a reason I think this is my best album, because I didn't hold back. I just did what I wanted to do, and I love it. And so I'm satisfied with who I am, and I'm satisfied with this style, but I'm always moving up. I'm always trying to outdo myself. And so I'm not opposed to the concept that maybe having all these genres is not the right direction to go. Maybe I do need to, focus in, but it's just a question.
Satisfied, but always moving on.
Then we go back into the chorus. Second section. I gotta go quicker because I'm taking forever, man. I'm sorry. Then we drop all the instrumentation, just the drums. We just want drums right now because we're gonna have a little freestyle. It's not freestyle actually, but and I'm gonna do some really interesting stuff here.
Yo, stop that tune, I'ma go freestyle 2000 type of beat, but I know for a child I'ma change up the flow, something new, something old. Guitar like Smith, but I rap like a go. Let me hear it for the OGs. Fight Dog and Easy E, cause I rap with these so casually, spitting and killing it casually.
Okay, first of all, I love doing this like breakout, stop everything. I'm gonna just go freestyle, even though I'm not really freestyling. But I'm freestyling in the sense that there's no backing instrumentation. It's just the drums. It's just me. So we got some different vocals. We got the.
Yo, stop that tune, I'ma go freestyle 2000 type of beat, but I know for a child I'ma change up the flow, something new, something old. Guitar like Smith, but I rap like a go. Let me hear it for the.
You hear that? That was that noise gate that I was referring to in a different video. There wasn't any instances where it really came out really well, or like really, you can really audibly hear it, but that one, you could.
For the OGs, Fight Dog and Easy E, cause I rap with these so casually, spitting and killing it casually.
Then we do the same thing with the telephone vocal.
Yo, stop that tune, I'ma go freestyle 2000 type of beat, but I know for a child I'ma change up the flow, something.
Again, we're doing callbacks, so we're using the phone. And that's just also a tonal thing. And then we've got the first harmony, which, by the way, you'll notice all these splicing, right? So splicing is adding, and it's basically like taping together different tracks together. So what I do is, for this part, I really, really needed it to be right, like really choppy with the vocals. It really needs to be accentuated. When you're doing harmony vocals, the timing is not going to be perfect. So for this, I literally went in and I spliced it together so that everything just hits right. But when you isolate them, they sound weird. I'm pretty sure. It'll sound weird. Here's one of the vocals.
Yo, stop that tune, I'ma go freestyle 2000 type of beat, but I know for a child I'ma change it, that flow, something new, something old. Guitar like Smith, but I rap like I go. Let me hear it for the OGs. Fight Dog and Easy E, cause I rap with these so casually, spitting and killing it
Cat. Spliced it, right? So it's just to get the timing right. Let's add this one now. Let's check this one.
Yo, stop that tune, I'ma go freestyle 2000 type of beat, but I know for a child I'ma change that the flow, something new, something old. Guitar like Smith, but I rap like a go.
You also notice that there's some auto-tunal like errors, right? It's like it's kind of robotic. I use that. It's the same concept I used for the previous one, where like I used it for the la 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 la, and there's no other place because it adds to a stylistic change, and a stylistic, it's just like a little flavor. And I think auto-tune is so 2000s rap, so that's kind of the reason. I usually use auto-tune and pitch correction. It's not auto-tune, it's pitch correction, but to just help fix some vocals. I'm not gonna pretend I don't, but this one I turned it way up so that it has that you can really tell that I'm using auto-tune. I'm not trying to hide it.
Yo, stop that tune, I'ma go freestyle 2000 type of beat, but I know for a child I'ma change up the flow, something new, something old. Guitar like Smith, but I rap like a go. Let me hear it for the OGs. Fight Dog and Easy E, cause I rap with these so casually, spitting and killing it casually.
Weird. I was also kind of going for Kendrick style. I think people will notice that it's kind of got a Kendrick flavor to it.
Yo, stop that tune, I'ma go freestyle, but I know for a child I'ma change up that flow, something new, something old. Guitar like Smith, but I rap like a go. Let me hear it for the OGs.
Anyways, let's combine them all now so you can hear what they all sound like together as a harmony piece.
Yo, stop that tune, I'ma go freestyle 2000 type of beat, but an old for a child. I'ma change up the flow, something new, something old. Guitar like Smith, but I rap like a goat. Let me hear it for the OGs. Fife Dog and Easy E, cause I rap with these so casually, spitting and killing it casually.
That's that part. It's really fun. I really like it. Lots of splicing, lots of auto-tune going crazy. And then we bring in some more instrumentation. We bring in the crackling lead. It's kind of mimicking the chorus that is going to come in a second. We add back in the bass.
My life.
And that's it. The drums stay the same, but we add in a different style of singing. So, this is a commentary. This next part is a commentary on the fact that so many white rappers, when they start rapping, they have like black accent and using that, using an African American style of singing and rapping. And I think it's fair in one sense because rap is a genre, a beautiful genre that is created by African Americans. It is black music, and it's got that soul to it, and it's got that style to it, and that timbre. And that, when you're listening to rap music, 90% of the time you're going to be listening to, an African American rapping. So it's been kind of, the style of rap is so influenced by that, but it also, the style of rap that you do most of the time, and the style that I love the most, that's part of the stylistic flavor of the genre. It is black. It has black, accents to it, but it also is a stylistic choice. But there is the whole like being overtly like kind of like trying to be black, which is not what you should be doing. Obviously, like you can appreciate and mimic the style of that era of rap, but I think to be like, to pretend you're some playboy that when you're like a whitey is crazy. So as a joke of white rappers trying to pretend that they're all I was born in the hood, man, I'm so cool. Come on, man, like you were born in the suburbs. So I come in with the kind of I was born in the suburbs, blah blah blah. I don't remember. We'll go through it, but I changed my voice to a very like overtly white guy, like, hi there, my 401k is blah 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 blah, and the weather's so nice, like super white. But we'll isolate that for a second. I do 4 versions, and then I come in with like a kind of like a grungy left and right hand harmony bit just to bolster it. I say that a lot, but yeah. Anyways,
let me tell you about my life. Born in the suburbs, rich and white. I was born living highlights. Learn on the flash, quick, right? Mixing up like a tie-dye. Colors swirling, and that's fine. Walking past a fine line. Who defines wrong and right?
Whispery. I love that. Anyways, yeah, so let me tell you about my life. Born in the suburbs, rich and white. Like you're like doing this whole, oh yeah, I'm an OG boy, blah 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 blah. Well, actually, you were, rich and white, and were born in the suburbs, so maybe you weren't as cool as you think you were.
Casually, let me tell you about my life. Born in the suburbs, rich and white. I was born living highlights. Learn on the flash, quick, right? Mixing up like a tie-dye.
So that one's just the first line. I was born living the highlights. I was born living highlights. Learn on the flash, quick, right? So I was born living highlights. I had a great childhood. I can't deny that. Like I did have a great childhood. Traveling lots and whatever. And I'm not saying that in a way to be like, bruh, but it's like, come on, like I am not in the same predicaments that rap music is built off of. The fundamentals of rap is struggle, financial struggle, societal struggle, you know, like these are the concepts of that build rap and that are so fundamentally crucial to rap, and that are so fundamentally crucial to rap. And I do not have that background. I was not born in the hood. I did not experience, systemic racism growing up. I was not fearful of my life getting, shot by cops or getting in a gang. Like, that's not where I come from. I was born living highlights. Like, I had a wonderful, very safe and PG-13 white, back suburb background. And I think acknowledging that is important because there's a reason why my rap will never be, it never will be truly rap, in my opinion, because I think there's that background is what makes rap. Like that's where it came from, was struggle, and coming out of that struggle and being badass. So that's where those come from. So I was born living highlights, learning the Flash quick right, mixing up like a tie dye. But I will say that my background, I wasn't born in a white bubble. Like because I traveled so often, I grew up around all sorts of people, all sorts of religions, all sorts of beliefs, all sorts of political backgrounds, all sorts of ideologies and dreams and ambitions. So there's a reason why my style of music and my appreciation for music is so broad, and I think that has to do a lot with the fact that I grew up in an atmosphere of creative freedom and creative influence, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I think I owe so much of my personality and my life, like the way that I've developed as a person, would be so much more different if I hadn't moved away from the white suburbs in Northern Virginia. If I hadn't moved across the globe, if I hadn't gone to an international school, if I hadn't started learning languages, if I hadn't moved here to university, we're a product of our environment, and I think it's very evident with the music that I create. So that's where that comes from.
Highlights. Learn on the Flash quick, right? Mixing up like a tie-dye. Colors swirling, and that's fine. Walking past the fine line.
Walking past the fine line. I understand that it kind of sounds like I'm saying, I was mixing around with other, ethnicities and other backgrounds, but I kind of walked past the fine. No, that is not what it is supposed to. It's more referring to walking past the fine line of the whole the commentary of, is my style of having a lot of different influences sustainable in the long run? That is the comment, not about race. Then we close it off with the chorus one more time, and then we do a real fun jazzy ending. Love that. Such a fun way to end it. We do two different drum fills. I use this one. Great one. And then we do this love it. And then we just come in with the organ and some pianos, keyboard piano. And there you go. That is the whole album. Nothing much more about it. It's super fun. Sorry, not the whole album. Gosh, I keep using album. Whole song. I am getting to the end of the album. There's 2 songs left. There is, I think, or three songs left. There's Love, Sounds of the Summer, and the Blood Charter. We're getting to the end. This was a longer one, but I hope it was interesting. I went a lot more into the background, kind of experimenting about it. I really enjoyed this one. It was really fun making. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope you like. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will be more than happy to answer them. And I will see you in the next video.